I like this view, man. Cheering here, staring at the road. Watching what's happening in front of me. Asking myself the deepest philosophical questions. What is this? What am I? Where do I come from? What is my purpose? Where does it all end? Sometimes I get angry because the answers that I get are not definitive. Like, yeah, I might think that life is this, but what if it's not what I think it is? What if it's that? What if it's something else? It's really weird and scary that we are alive. We're self-aware. Like, that's scary. That's scary because we don't know if we are in control of our lives. We control our destiny. If we really have a choice, if we are free. If we are not trapped here forever. That's scary, man. There are three things that I think each and every conscious person needs to teach themselves before they pass away. Three things, and that's why I encourage people to keep fighting, even when things are hard, because life is hard. Let's not lie to ourselves. Let's not lie to other people. Life is really hard. Life is really hard. So it's normal sometimes you just feel like giving up. It's normal. This week, two people that I know personally that I've been friends with in the past took their own lives. Two people. The other guy is 3 years older than me. The other guy is, I think the other guy is my age. We used to rap together. The guy that's 3 years older than me, he was a friend of a friend, so yeah, we were close. That makes you ask, how many people pass away and you find that they are the ones who made the choice to exit, but we don't know that that's actually what happened. The accidents that happen in the street, you're like, he was driving while drunk, he did. What if some people actually do cause accident purposefully, because they're fed up, because they're tired? Some people put themselves in harm's way because they're tired. It's not easy to be self-aware in a world that you don't really understand, and you don't seem to really have that much control. You wish things can get better, but things keep on becoming worse. Your desires ain't met. You just suffer. So you have desires, but they're not met. You know, you wish things could get better, but nothing changes. You wish humans can love one another, but it feels like no one loves anyone. You wish you could live in a different place, but it feels like you're stuck where you are. You wish that you could perform better, but you're anxious, you're afraid, you don't know how to conquer your fears. You try to think of ways to change your life, but you feel like no matter what you do, nothing is ever going to change. And you don't really care that much anymore. You do want things to change, but you're tired. You've already experienced a lot. You don't have energy to try to change your life. So you just find yourself suffering. It's a hell realm, man. It's a hell realm. I encourage people to stay for as long as they can, try to learn 3 things. Just 3 things. I believe that if you can master these 3 things, you've won. The first thing that you gotta learn is how to detach yourself. How to detach yourself. That is really, really important. Even though life is not giving me challenges to teach me anything, but I try to learn, If life gives me bad relationships, I'll be like, okay, maybe I need to learn how to detach myself, because that is important. You know what you want, you know what you feel you deserve, you know what makes sense to you. But there are things that you are still attached to that don't serve you. Some of you are in bad relationships. You can see that you're in a bad relationship, but you can't detach yourself. I think if you don't teach yourself to detach yourself, wherever you're going, you still deal with the same problem. If you find yourself in a relationship that you see that it's not good for you, and you see that there's no hope, like there isn't anything that you can do to make things better between you and your partner. Maybe you don't love each other enough. Maybe you have different beliefs. Maybe you're just forcing things. Maybe you do love your partner enough, but she doesn't love you enough, or he doesn't love you enough. But you can't let go. Chances are, wherever you're going, you still deal with that. You won't be able to let go of things that are not good for you. You work a shitty job. I mean, yes. People don't want to work, and it feels like every job that a person can get now is not good, but you look at a job and be like, but my job is worse, man. My job is worse. My boss is an asshole. My coworkers don't like me. I'm not getting paid enough for what I do. I'm not being appreciated. But you're afraid to leave. You're attached. You're addicted to something that's destroying your life. You can see that the quality of your life is deteriorating because you're addicted to something. It could be alcohol, it could be cigarettes, could be porn, it could be video games, whatever it is. If it's your quality of life is deteriorating and you wish that you could quit, but you can't, there's a problem. You need to teach yourself to let go if you see that something is not good for you. Friendships. You've known this person your whole life, but you can say that, but this person, nah, man. This person is making my life hell. But you are addicted to that person. If you don't teach yourself to let go, you will struggle to let go wherever you will be, wherever you're going to find yourself. And I think if there's something that we're struggling with as a collective, it's to let go. Like, it's not easy for people to let go. That is why we end up with people who are not good for us. By the time we let go, it's just too late. Like, our lives are just destroyed because we were hugging a tree of thorns, but there was butter that we were leaking. So we're like, yeah, I'm gonna keep hugging this tree because there's butter. But you're getting hurt, right? You can see that that's not good for your mental health. You can see, like deep down, that you are with the wrong person, or you are in the wrong place, or the job that's not a good job for you, the job that you're working. But you're like, okay, there's something that I'm benefiting. At least they're paying me. Yeah, it's a bad relationship, but at least I'm getting some money. My boyfriend does give me money, sometimes. My girlfriend, sometimes we talk and I feel better when we talk, We must teach ourselves to let go. I do not think that wherever we're going is going to be a place where we're totally free. I think we still have to deal with what we're dealing with here. I think we need to prepare ourselves for whatever is next. Chances are we're in a prison within a prison within a prison within a prison. You might find that it's gonna take a lot of awakenings for you to truly wake up. Like, it's not something that's gonna happen once. Like, okay, you conquer this realm and that's it. I think you still find yourself in another prison, in another matrix. And if you're not ready, you might end up being trapped here. I remember someone commented on one of the videos that I published recently, and they're like, you shouldn't worry about this, what's going on in this realm. Someone is going to create a simulation where you're going to live your wildest dreams, you're going to have this Instagram models, everything that you want. And I was like, isn't that how we got tricked the first time? Like, why would you want to be in a simulation that someone else controls, someone else created? What if they trap you there? Now, why would you choose to be in a simulation? You didn't create it. So even if you did create it, You know things can go wrong when you're inside. So if you don't learn to detach yourself from a lot of things that are keeping you stuck here, you will still wish to have some experiences that are keeping you stuck here. Like, yeah, I gotta have this Instagram model, so if there's a simulation where, you know what I mean, you gotta realize that some things are just used to just keep you stuck here, man. Honestly, some things are just used to keep you stuck here. So you need to master the art of detachment. Like, in fact, I would say that's what you gotta be working on. Like, every time you find yourself in a situation where you're too attached, work on detaching yourself. Work on detaching yourself. You don't want to be so attached to things that if you lose these things, your life will be destroyed. You don't want that. You're so attached to a person that your life will be destroyed if that person leaves. And it's not that if you're attached to a person, your life will be destroyed if they leave. Like, I don't think there's a person that if they leave your life, you won't be able to recover. The problem is that that's the story that you tell yourself. You know, one of the guys that ended his life that I was telling you about, he wrote on Facebook that what kills a man is a woman. He says that he took someone in who was poor. So he took this woman in who was poor, lived with her, did everything for her, and she left when things were good for her. And yeah, that, you know, he felt like he could not recover from that. So he felt like, you know, that was best. And it feels that way. Like, it truly does feel that way. Like, when you attached to someone, like truly attached to someone, and you believed wholeheartedly that that person was good for you. You know, when you're in love and you believe that, damn, I found my soulmate, I found this person that I was looking for my whole life. Because, you know, we whether we like it or not, we do want connection, right? We don't want to feel alone. So you imagine you find this person and you're like, ish, I found the one, man. This woman, I'm willing to do everything for her. I'm willing to die for this woman. And you trust her, you know, she seemed innocent. She seemed like a person who's going to love you forever. You know, she sends you texts telling you how much she loves you. And you're happy, you know. Maybe you've never been happy your whole life, but this woman is making you happy. This woman is giving you hope, you know. Then one day you discover that she has someone. You try to talk to her about it. She gives you an attitude, and then she says, I don't think this is working. You're like, what? Like, nah, I don't think this is working. And then she starts telling you about have you realized that when women leave you, they tell you about things that you did a long time ago, things that you did 3 years ago, 2 years ago? Yeah, you remember you did this? Yeah, that didn't sit well with me. And then you find yourself fighting about it. Like, if they don't have if there's nothing that's happening currently that they can use to justify leaving you, right? You try to reason with her, she doesn't listen. No matter what you say, no matter, like, even if you're making a lot of sense, she doesn't listen. She's in love with someone else, and you're in love with her. And the thing is, when you're in love with someone, like, especially as a man, if you're in love with a woman, you become weak. You become weak, and when you're weak, you're unattractive. So the more you try to get her back, the less attractive you become. Like, she just think you're useless. She just hate you more. Like, why did I even love this person? Like, what was I even thinking? Like, she'll feel disgusted by you. So she's gotta be mean, right? And at the time, you really need her. Like, you really need her because she's the person that you have invested everything on. Like, you've invested in her emotionally. You know, you've invested in her emotionally. You know, she's the person that when you're not feeling good, she's the person that you want to talk to. But now she doesn't even want to talk to you. She's the one who hurt you. She's no longer that innocent girl that you used to know. She's mean as fuck. Like, now it even seems like she's purposefully trying to hurt you. The things that she say, you know, she brags about a new boyfriend, you know. She says, you know what, I never came before when I was having sex with you. He's able to make me come. Can you imagine that? Women can be mean when they fall out of love with you, man. It's the craziest thing ever. At the time, you need her. Like, she's the person that you need. So yeah, it's very difficult to get over someone that you truly loved, if it wasn't your choice to let him go. And even if it was, but it's still difficult. Depends on why you had to let him go. So because I felt like that before, I understand exactly how he was feeling. I understand exactly how he was feeling. It truly does feel like you'll never recover, but you always recover. You know, if you work on recovering, if you work on detaching yourself, you always recover. It takes time, but you always recover. It just feels like you won't. I think the best way to learn to detach yourself is through relationships, because it feels like you can't recover if you lose the people that you love. But you can. And you realize that maybe there isn't a person that you must trust. So wherever you will be, you still won't be very trust. You won't be, you know, you won't be gullible. You won't be too attached to people, because you're like, yeah, anything can happen. You know, anything can happen. So you gotta learn to detach yourself. No matter how hard it is, that's what you gotta work on. You detach yourself. And when you master the art of detaching yourself, don't allow yourself to be too attached again, right? Don't allow yourself to be too attached again. Don't allow yourself to be too addicted to something. Because the Matrix will use whatever you are addicted to torture you. In fact, that's the only way that it can torture you. It's when you are too addicted to something. Like, it's going to use what you love to torture you. Because that's what it wants. It wants loose from you, right? That is why the people that you truly love, these are the people that you lose. Think about it. The people that you don't love, you don't lose them. But why is it that you lose the people that you truly love? Well, you don't get the people that you truly love if these people, they're not the kind of people that you can lose. Maybe they're very loyal. You don't get them. So if you are not too attached to anything now, never allow yourself to be attached or too attached to something. Never convince yourself that being attached to something is a good thing. It's not. Practice detachment. So that even if you find yourself in the afterlife where you attached to something, you already know what to do to detach yourself. So the first thing that you gotta learn is detachment. You gotta learn to detach yourself. The second thing that you gotta learn is to be brave, man. You gotta learn to be brave. You've got to learn to be brave. Most people ain't brave, bruh. Most people are cowards. Most people cannot stand for themselves, like stand up for themselves. When they find themselves in a situation where they could either be brave, be strong, make decisions that are actually best for them, or be cowards and take the easy way out, they're gonna take the easy way out. Most people do things that are easy. Not because it's the things that they prefer to do, but because they're cowards. They're afraid. How often do you do things because you really want to do these things? It's not because of fear. Most people are operating in fear and they don't even realize it. Like, they've been operating in fear for so long that they just think that's how they are. Like, that's how I operate. They forgot how to be themselves because they lived in fear for too damn long. Try to do things that you're afraid to do. If you're afraid to talk to strangers, talk to strangers. Face rejection if you're gonna face rejection, deal with it. Deal with rejection. Right? The more you deal with rejection, the more you become brave, because you realize that rejection is nothing. Because it is nothing, really. If you get used to it, you're not really gonna care. What's the things that you're afraid of? Like, these things won't really affect you deeply, right? And you can train yourself to be brave, you know. If you really want to be brave, you can train yourself to be brave. Let's say you're afraid of snakes, right? You're afraid of snakes. Do you think that if they said, okay, we're giving you a year to get over your fear of snakes, do you think you wouldn't be able to get over that fear? You would approach people who are not afraid of snakes, see how they handle snakes, and teach yourself how to handle snakes. Because you're not really afraid of snakes because they bite. You know, a lot of people think they're afraid of snakes because they bite. You're not afraid of snakes. You're probably afraid of lizards too, right? You'll be afraid of snakes that don't bite. You're just afraid of snakes. It's more like a phobia. To get rid of that fear is to face it. You know, hold a snake. Play with a snake. It does get to a point where you're just not afraid of it anymore, because it's like a kid that grew up where they were where there were snakes, right? Like maybe their father, you know, had snakes. That kid won't be afraid of snakes. You find that kid playing with snakes at a very young age, and you'll be like, damn, what's going on here? That kid is 7, and they're not afraid of snakes. You find out it's a girl. Like that girl is like 7, she's not afraid of snakes. I'm 30 and I'm a man and I'm afraid of snakes. Like, you can get rid of any fear, you can get rid of any phobia. So there's nothing to be afraid of. Really, I mean, what should you really be afraid of? Death? That's something that's gonna happen, right? Pain? You're not really afraid of pain. You just know that you don't want to feel pain. So it's not even fear. You're not afraid of pain. You just don't want to feel it. So the things that you're afraid of, these are the things that you're really afraid of. Like if you know, dogs, you're not really afraid of dogs. You're just afraid of pain. Like, you know, dogs can bite you. So you know what I mean. Even death, you're not really afraid of death. You're just too damn attached to this realm, so you feel like you are afraid of death, or you just don't want to die. But there isn't anything to be afraid of. So be brave, man. Do what you want to do. I'm serious. It's 2025. Stop holding back. Do exactly what you want to do. All right. I don't give a look. Even if you're gonna be embarrassed, it's fine. You know, there are people who tell me that, hey, I can't do this. Hey, I'm suffering from anxiety. And I'm like, come on, man. We understand. I understand that you suffer from anxiety. But how do you think you conquer your anxiety? How? Like, I can't talk to people. Yeah, you can't talk to people because you've never talked to people. And you're too damn comfortable. Learn to be brave. Learn to face your fears. I remember when I was young, I used to watch WWE a lot. Even though I knew it was fake, I was afraid of The Undertaker for some reason. I knew it was fake. Like, I realized that earlier than the other kids were able to. I mean, there's still adults who think that it's real. People still will ask you if it's real. You're like, damn, I figured it out the first time when I watched it. But I was afraid of The Undertaker for some reason. You know, when you're sleeping in a coffin. Like, I knew it was fake, but I knew they will also be trying to scare us. Like, they'll also be trying to scare us as viewers. So I'll just be scared. I'm like, dang. And my dad would be like, yeah, you're afraid of this shit. But I'll keep on watching, and eventually I stopped being afraid. I'll just watch it and it'll just be entertainment. Some horror movies. You watch these movies and you're scared, but it does get to a point where, you know, that movie Smile, like, it's creepy as fuck. I don't know if part 2 is out. I might need to check it out. I think it's an interesting concept, actually. Someone getting possessed by a demon that's creepy as fuck, and yeah. But teach yourself to be brave, man. Speak your mind. Some of you are telling me that I'm brave because I speak my mind. I'm like, Why are you afraid to speak your mind? Why do you call that bravery? To me, it's not even bravery because I've been speaking my mind since the beginning. Like since I was a little kid, I would speak my mind. I would shock people, like adults will be shocked when they listen to me speak. But like, damn, this kid. I would have adults call other adults, come and listen to this kid, come and listen to what this kid is saying. I'll be brave as, it's not, in fact, I wouldn't even be bravery. It's just that I was free. Like I taught myself to speak my mind since I was a kid. So it was very easy for me to speak my mind. My dad used to think I was disrespectful because he doesn't know people who speak their mind like me. At least my mom understood that, I'm just that person who speaks his mind. My teachers, like, the kid is disrespectful. Like, I'm speaking my mind. Pastors be like, the kid is disrespectful. I'm proud of speaking my mind, man. Because why not? Like, why shouldn't I be myself? Why shouldn't I say exactly how I feel? Which brings me to my next point. The third thing that you need to learn is to be authentic, man. Authenticity. Being your fucking self. Being your true self. That is really that important. And listen, you must first learn to detach yourself from nonsense and learn to be brave, and then learn to be authentic. You don't become authentic first, because you might find that you being authentic is not you really being authentic. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you're still a fearful person and you're like, yeah, I'm being myself. Like, no, you're not being yourself. Let's say you're afraid to let go. You'll be like, I'm being myself. No, you're not being yourself. So you must first learn to let go. Detach yourself from things that you don't rock with, but you're just addicted to these things. And then teach yourself to let go, and then teach yourself to be brave, and then be authentic. Be you. Be the real you. You have let go of everything that doesn't make you you. Right? You've let go of everything that doesn't make you you. And you are brave, meaning that you are doing what you really want to do. Then you become authentic. Your true self, without being ashamed. Some people are ashamed of being authentic. I keep on telling y'all that there's nothing to protect. Be what you are, because that's what you are. If you feel the way that you feel the way that you feel. If I felt like a psycho, I will be telling y'all that I feel like a psycho. It wouldn't necessarily mean that I have to do something bad, but I would say that's how I feel. Because that is what is true. Why should I lie? Why should I hide who I am? Why? These niggas are gonna end up causing serious damage to their car. I don't know why they parked it there. I mean, it's very hard today. Maybe under a tree or something like that. That would be better. Like it's parked in a wrong place. There's really nothing to protect, man. I don't try to hide who I am. Even if people judge me. I mean, if I hide who I am, I'm not hiding who I am because I'm afraid of or ashamed of who I am. I'm like, okay, I'm being strategic now, maybe it's not best now, maybe it's not the right time for me to show this person who I am now. Like, I'm not really afraid, but it's not, you know what I mean, because you still have to be strategic. You are in the hell room, you still gotta be strategic. Most people don't know how to be authentic. Like, they've been fake for too damn long. You can feel it when you're authentic, man. You can literally feel it, that I'm me. You see, when you live in fear, you do feel it, that you're living in fear. And sometimes you do not feel good because you are living in fear. Do you know that? And I've noticed this a lot. Sometimes you don't feel good because you're living in fear. Like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing because you're afraid. You're so damn afraid. You're telling yourself the worst stories in your head. If I did this, or if I try to do this, something bad will happen, blah, blah, blah. And you believe these stories that you're telling yourself. So you actually live in your own head. You don't live in reality. Because if you live in reality, the things that you're afraid of, you'll end up not being afraid of these things. Because you would know the truth. You see, the reason why you will be anxious is because you want things to not be how you think they are. Think about it. If you knew that every person doesn't like you in this world, do you genuinely think that will matter to you? Like, that will be a big deal? What will make that a big deal is you telling yourself that some people like me, and then not wanting to know that they don't like you, right? That's what will make you feel anxious. But if you knew that it's like you're not going to feel anxious when a dog that you don't know bites at you because you know it doesn't like you because it doesn't know you, right? If a lizard runs away from you, you know it doesn't like you. You know a lizard doesn't like you. You're not telling yourself that, oh, it might like me or it might not like me. You know it doesn't like you. You know the truth. Authenticity is important. Tell yourself that I'm not gonna be ashamed of who I am. I didn't create myself. This is who I am. But like I told you, that make sure that you're being brave. Make sure that you are being real. You're being honest, right? You're detached from things that don't serve you. It's when you be yourself. The world will say what it wants to say, but you will be yourself, and you should be ashamed. Even if every person in the world criticized you for being yourself, it's good. It's not a bad thing. It's not something that should make you feel bad. We are in a hell realm, in a hellish realm. So you gotta understand that and learn to stand for yourself, like stand up for yourself. There's no good reason to live in fear, man. Because what are you really trying to protect? You don't even know what life is. What if it's just a game? And by living in fear, you're not playing it well. Even if life is throwing that at you, you could still operate at a level that's best. So life is busy throwing that at you, but you're operating at a very high level of consciousness. Because also operating at a high level of consciousness also means not being fearful, right? Also means not being fearful. I don't think that people are operating at a higher level of consciousness, but they are too damn afraid of things. It doesn't really work that way. And I think by being afraid, you are protecting the hell realm. Because it's not going to be seen for what it is, because you are afraid to be yourself. You are afraid to speak your mind about how you feel about the hell realm, right? And you are afraid to learn the truth about the hell realm, because how do you learn the truth about a place that you are afraid to be yourself in? How? I'll be back in a second. I remember Nelson Mandela, I'm not really a fan of Nelson Mandela, but I remember he said something important. He said courage is not the absence of fear, right? Bravery is not the absence of fear. But what happens when you are brave is that you are conquering your fear. You are training yourself to be fearless. You're training yourself to do what you want to do regardless of how you feel. So you become stronger automatically. Yes, I'm afraid to speak my mind, but I'm still going to speak my mind. Let's see what happens. I'm afraid to speak my mind, but yeah, I will still speak my mind. Whatever happens, you'd see that even in your dreams, you'll be brave. Like in my dreams, I'm more brave than I'm braver than I've ever been. You know, I'm no longer afraid of things that I used to be afraid of. If I'm in a dream and someone is trying to attack me, I'm able to fight back because I've taught myself to be brave. I've taught myself to be brave in this reality. So even in my dream, I'm still able to be me. But if you're going to be a coward here, you're going to be coward in your dreams. And you know what happens when you're a coward in your dreams? You're going to have dreams where you are actually a victim. You know, I've had dreams where things were going bad, but I was able to make things better by being brave. I was able to make things better by standing up for myself. sometimes we just need to be brave. At the end of the day, we're not really in control of this realm. And what I've realized that we suffer more when we are living in fear rather than standing up for ourselves and doing what we want to do. Even if we're anxious, even if we're not feeling good, it's fine. Even if bad things are gonna happen in my brain, it's still fine. Make sure you are being brave. Thank you. It's actually funny. Like, I was not using my mic, but I'm able to you still be able to hear me. The funniest thing ever, man. I don't know why I felt like my mic was still here, but it is what it is. Thank you, guys.